What up? It's your boy, Luke for Prez, back in the mix with another video for you guys. Hope everyone's doing great as usual. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a Playboi Carti type beat, one of those typical rage slash hyper pop type beats with the help of Captain Plugin's Epic. This is somewhat of a departure from my typical style. These rage beats usually have a lot of synths. They pull a lot of influence from the EDM world, so I'm excited to try something a little bit new and utilize some of the dope synth sounds built into Captain Plugin's Epic. So let's get into it. All right, so I'm in my DAW. We're at 144 BPM. We got Captain Chords pulled up. We are in the key of A flat major. And the reason I use this key is because it's the same key as the song Miss the Rage by Playboi Carti and Trippie Redd, which is like, at least for me right now, the quintessential rage beat. So I wanted to stay kind of true to the formula as best I could. So that's why I picked this particular key today. And basically I came up with a quick chord progression. There's really just two chords going on here, and then kind of a top melody that I built in myself within Captain Chords. And then as you can see, all the notes don't play simultaneously. I sort of have them like dragged out. I thought that sounded kind of cool and in tune with the typical rage formula. I got to this pattern just by clicking in notes manually, and sometimes that's fun to do. You can also just utilize one of the built-in chord progressions and rhythms. They even have a subcategory for like melodic trap or rage. Either one of those would be appropriate, and there's some dope stuff in there. But today I felt like experimenting a little bit, and so I basically just clicked around until I found something that I liked. As I mentioned, Captain Plugin's Epic has a ton of amazing synth sounds, so I went into the hyper pop subcategory. I clicked on leads and I found this drive gun preset that I thought was pretty cool. This is what it sounds like. Right? So it's like just a dope synth, like one of the many. I could have used any one of these and it would work for this genre. And I love how easy it is to navigate through the different sound presets. You start on the left here, select your genre, and then you select what kind of instrument you want, or you can just like leave this totally blank and have all of the options for the subgenre if you want, or you could search specifically for a specific type of sound that you're looking for as well. So you got lots of options, and it's great for maintaining a quick and efficient workflow, in my opinion. So that's the sound. This is a chord progression, and here is what it sounds like. One thing I did do using the built-in Captain Plugin's features is I actually highlighted everything and I clicked the complexity button up one, and that created a couple of these random extra notes as well as this additional note down here. If you know, I could experiment with just kind of continuing to do that and like see how it sounds, but I wanted to kind of keep it simple. That's one of the main tenets of these rage beats. They're super repetitive. They sound more intricate than they actually are in a lot of cases because of the sound selection. That's one of the most important components of this type of beat. You have to get good sound selection. That's really half the battle. And then your beat's gonna sound super full and interesting, even though you're only actually using a handful of sounds. So I was super happy with this. This could serve as kind of the foundation of the melodic components. I also went ahead and looked and saw what it sounded like with the halftime plugin. And so with that engaged, this is now what it sounds like. And I really liked that. It was just the default setting. Let me pull it up so you can see it. Just the 1-bar default setting. I literally touched nothing else. And I thought that sounded cool. Kind of switches the rhythm up a little bit. And I'm going to use it for the verse section, or at least part of the verse section for this beat, and kind of going back and forth. So that's another cool way to basically get a whole new melody that fits within your beat without having to really do any extra work. And it just kind of switches things up for certain sections of the beat and keeps the listener's ear. When I was done with that, I wanted to add an additional melody component, like some kind of top melody in a higher octave to play over that main melody. So I opened up Captain Melody Epic. It automatically links to the same scale that you were working on in Captain Chords, which is pretty cool. And I found another cool synth lead sound. This one's called 90s Glide. It sounds like this. So like just, you know, like a classic EDM type sound that just works perfectly. And then what I did is I started by clicking the randomize idea box button several times to generate different melody patterns. And then I found one that I kind of liked, and from there I went in and rearranged certain notes and kind of came up with my own vibe while still utilizing a few components from that original melody. And that, to me, is the truly most valuable part about Captain Melody Epic specifically. It provides you with so much flexibility where it'll give you options that serve as good starting points, but it doesn't design the whole thing for you necessarily. There's still a lot of room for you to put your own spin on it and basically just use your own ear to kind of click in things that sound good until you come up with an acceptable pattern as a whole. And that's exactly what I did in this case. So this is what the top melody that I came up with sounds like. And with the chords playing, it sounds like this. And so that's basically all I wanted to do melody-wise. It's 3 patterns, really 2 patterns, one pattern having the halftime on and sometimes having it off with this top melody. That's about all I needed because again, these are typically very repetitive, very simple. So from here, I moved on to the drums. Now the drum patterns in these types of beats have a lot of similarities to just normal trap drums, but there are certain little things that make this distinct. The main thing is, it's just way simpler than even the most simple trap drum pattern that I typically make. There's not a lot of hi-hat rolls always. A lot of times it's just a simple 2-step hi-hat pattern, simple clap pattern, maybe an open hat, maybe an accent snare, but sometimes not even. So I actually didn't even use an accent snare for this one. You want that 808 pattern to be very bouncy, very repetitive, and relatively simple. This actually might be, and I know it looks really simple, but it might even be a little more complicated than is typical for this kind of beat, but you know, I just couldn't help myself. I gotta get the rolls in. I gotta, you know, do the little octave jumps with the 808s. I gotta put my own little sauce on it at some point. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. And another thing to note, usually there are no kicks. It's literally just the 808. That is the drum element. So this might be a record for least amount of tracks used in one of these videos for the drums. It's literally 4 tracks. We have a basic clap, hi-hat, which is just a 2-step pattern like I mentioned, super simple open hat pattern, and then the 808s. So all together, they sound like this. And with the patterns, boom. I love how it sounds. These are actually really fun beats to make. I might start making more of these just in my spare time because you can crank out a ton of them. Like there's not that much to it. So this is one of the easier subgenres to just be able to like crank out several beats a day, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and arrange this thing so you can hear how it sounds in its entirety, and then I'm gonna get out of here. All right, so I've gone ahead and arranged the beat. We have the intro, which is just the chords playing. Then we go into the first chorus, which has the chords playing for the first half with all the drums, and then the second half, that top melody comes in. And then we go into the verse section where I use the halftime pattern that I mentioned earlier. And then it goes into a bridge where the original chords, not halftime, reappears with just like the 808 pattern playing by itself, and then the whole thing just repeats. So with all that being said, I'm gonna play the beat for you, and then I'm gonna send you on your merry way. I hope you've enjoyed this quick tutorial video on how to make a Playboi Carti type beat. I'm Luke for Prez. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Mixed and Keyed YouTube channel. We got more stuff on the way. We ain't stopping, not anytime soon. And with that, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.